Boots Ennis he's the real package. He's the full package. I've been saying this for a long time. It's no secret. And a lot of people see it, and they had their ups and downs about how they feel about him. But he's the full package. He can fight inside, outside. He can punch. He's got good hand speed. He's technically solid. His father does a good job. He's mentally right. He's got the amateur pedigree. He's the full package.
I ain't seen a fighter yet that worked like Boots Ennis. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't seen a fighter yet that worked like that. That put that pain in like that. I ain't seen it. I know it's fighters that work hard, but I'm talking about that work like that. Consistency. I ain't seen it. Really putting that pain in. You know what I'm saying? Really grinding it out. You know what I mean? I ain't seen it.
Elite fighters, I say it again, elite fighters put them together. They finish the job. And then I said, wait a minute. Ennis puts them together. Ennis will therefore finish the job. He will hit him with the uppercut just like this fighter did, but then he will put them together. He will not allow him, with all the heart he has and a decent chin, he will not allow him to survive. The speed, the level of Ennis will now take over and dominate. Sure enough, bang, bang.
Unless it's like some kind of freak accident, like a headbutt or like a weird disqualification or something, I don't see how Xander gonna win this fight. He could go the distance if he moves all night, but I just don't know if he's gonna be able to keep his stamina up, having to move like that in front of a guy that's that dangerous. So I thought before that he could possibly go the distance, but I saw the end of his fight against Sabaz. He's going to be so tired with Boots in front of him. To have somebody like that in front of you is depleting. It's like, it's hard to explain with words, man, but it does something to you mentally to have something like that in front.
After years of operating on separate sides of the boxing promotion landscape, Top Rank and Matchroom have finally chosen to set aside their business rivalry and deliver the type of showdown fans have been eagerly waiting for. Right in the middle of it all sits 23-year-old unified champion Xander Zayas, a rising star who's prepared to put his perfect record on the line against the division's most feared opponent, Jaron Boots. Across online spaces such as Reddit and various boxing forums, the community finds itself sharply divided. Yet, despite the differing viewpoints, there's widespread agreement about the respect Zayas has earned by stepping up to face such a high-risk threat, rather than playing it safe and protecting his unblemished run.
And by the way, I think Boots is gonna put it together. I think Boots is gonna be a top 5 pound for pound guy. I think he's gonna beat Xander Zayas. Since we're on the topic, my early pick is Boots.
He said shit.
116, 111. I think it's gonna be a competitive fight. I do think that speed and power and creativity of Jaron Ennis at some point will overwhelm Xander Zayas enough to get a knockdown, but I don't see him knocking out Xander Zayas. I think Zayas is going to make it a very good fight and show why he is who he is as a unified champ, the youngest in the game at 23. But Boots is a phenomenal talent. I just think the people... the reasonable skeptics are just saying, yeah, but it's got to produce something. You're almost 30 years old. You're a year away from 30, and your best win, respectfully, is Montes Stanionis, who's a good fighter, and you did unify. You did become ring champ, technically the lineal champ at welterweight, but... I think his talent is better than Errol Spence at this age, but he doesn't have the accomplishments Spence had at that age. But I think Ennis is a better talent,
I agree with that 100.
For years, promotional rivals Top Rank and Matchroom kept their distance. But now they've finally set aside business differences to deliver the fight that boxing enthusiasts have been craving. At the heart of it all is 23-year-old unified champion Xander Zayas, a young talent willing to gamble his undefeated record against the one man everyone in the division seems to avoid, Jaron Boots. Across boxing communities and platforms like Reddit, opinions are deeply divided. Still, there's near universal acknowledgement of the admiration Zayas deserves for embracing such a perilous matchup rather than opting for the safer route and preserving his perfect streak. When Teddy Atlas assessed the danger that Boots Ennis presents inside the squared circle, he was brutally honest. From his perspective, Ennis falls into that rare category of boxers capable of striking from virtually any angle, carrying a comprehensive and intimidating arsenal reminiscent of stars like Gervonta Davis. What truly sets Boots apart, however, is his extraordinary comfort in both stances. Atlas drew a comparison to baseball legend Mickey Mantle, highlighting how seamlessly Ennis transitions between southpaw and orthodox without ever compromising his power, equilibrium, or rhythm. This isn't some gimmick meant to impress. He shifts stances specifically to throw off his opponent's timing and present them with dilemmas they hadn't anticipated. That kind of unpredictability makes every encounter a mental challenge, leaving rivals guessing where the next heavy shot will materialize.
Look, I always talk about distraction. You in the football, for NFL top scout, 15 years, director of scouting. What did they do? Misdirection plays. If you had a defense in front of you that was really fast, right? Really fast, what'd you do? You wanted to counter their speed. You wanted to find a way to neutralize their speed, to kind of flip it around on them. So what did you do? You ran a misdirection. You ran one way, whoa, bang, they went right after that, boom, you went back the other way, misdirection. We do the same thing in boxing. Misdirection, where just a little sleight of hand, just a little change, from orthodox to southpaw, whatever it happens, a little flick of the jab, so he looks at the jab, maybe you throw the jab off to the side, boom, and then you throw down the middle. Maybe you move your head to the left and then you throw the right hand to the right. Just something that diverts the opponent's attention where you can get that punch in clean. And that makes all the difference in the world. And again, who does that? The elite. The elite guys that separate themselves. Those are the things that separate them.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the whole division is on.
For a fighter with Zayas' aggressive approach, that non-stop attacking mentality presents a serious hurdle. Multiple recent tactical dissections, among them a thorough breakdown by AKOE, have pointed to a potential vulnerability for the youthful title holder. When Zayas unloads his flurries and begins moving forward with intensity, he sometimes exposes visible gaps in his guard, facing a typical adversary. Such lapses might go unpunished. But against someone with the precision and split-second reactions of Boots, those same moments could turn into openings that shift the entire course of the contest.
When he's in the middle, so when he's on the center line, he might throw punches, but there's no power behind him. And if he's sitting on his right hand, same thing. He throws punches, quick shots, but those aren't the really dangerous shots. When he's trying to exchange and he wants to hurt you, you'll see his head go off center to the left over and over again. So he peaks, sort of like, I remember Salvador Sanchez used to hit you with those Jones, but then he'll peek over. So he'll peek over, throw a quick right hand, or he'll peek over. And if you freeze, or if you catch the right look that he's looking for, he's shooting a left hook or left hand to the body or left hand to the head almost every time. You know what I mean? And he throws with weight and with power. That's what he does to try to hurt his opponents, right? But that gets him caught because that's his rhythm. Every time he was there against Sparmer was hitting him with short right hands and was just timing his move. Like whenever he would peek over here, that short right hand was coming almost every time, and Sparmer was catching him right on the chin with those. And then when he's pulling back out of that, he's catching him with hooks. So he was short right hands, left hooks almost all day. It's just that Sparmer was a smaller guy, couldn't really hurt him, but he was hitting him. And that's what I pay attention to, is like, Boots is fast enough and athletic enough to still catch you in those positions, but it's not like you're fighting a smaller guy. Boots can hurt you if you get caught clean.
One point has been made abundantly clear. If Zayas steps into that ring with the sole goal of simply reaching the final bell, he could find himself in a difficult spot. He needs to strike the right equilibrium between intelligent movement and effective aggression, because merely retreating or trying to survive won't cut it. Across boxing social media, fans are already questioning whether the young champion has the endurance to go a full 12 rounds with an opponent who capitalizes on errors at the elite level. Adopting a cautious approach against a top-tier counterpuncher often proves risky, particularly when even the slightest misstep carries the potential to invite a fight-altering blow out of nowhere.
I think they got two different skill sets. Xander is more of the boxer, mover now. And old boy is just an explosive type of guy. He's a combination puncher. You know, once he really starts to let his hands go, and so I don't think it's a big skill separation. Just two different styles. And I think, of course, Boots has the more flashier style,
Right.
more crowd-pleasing style.
You know, Xander's team says that they see a lot of holes in Boots' game. You know, when you talk about the flash, you know, do you feel like, does that kind of ruin your fundamentals at times when you try to be too flashy? What would you say?
No, I think he just no. When I say being flashy, you know, I don't mean tapping his foot and shooting a Superman punch. I don't mean that. Just you see the way he finished the other kid, the kid he just knocked out in the tune-up. He just gotta go. He got a way about his punches. You know, threw 4 uppercuts against Stanionis. That's what I mean, flashy. You know, he got the way he throws his punches, and that's what I mean. You know, and he has that. Xander Zayas is not doing that. He's a straight. He's not doing nothing else like Boots. He's not slipping in. He's not wrong. He's not doing that. So that's what I'm. Yeah. So Boots is a.
This showdown has ignited a broader discussion throughout the boxing community, as it resembles a clash of opposing ideologies. On one hand, there's raw, explosive athleticism. On the other, there's refined technical skill honed over years of dedicated training. Renowned coach Stephen Redman Edwards intensified that conversation with a comparison that caught everyone's attention. He drew parallels to the iconic Roy Jones Jr., contending that when a boxer attains a particular tier of physical brilliance, the conventional principles taught in training manuals no longer necessarily hold true.
So like if we were looking at a guy, right, and you said, oh man, he makes the perfect little layup. You know, he takes his first 2 steps, right? And then you had a guy that could just dunk off of 1 foot as soon as he catch it. Who would you rather on your team?
The dunker. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
So sometimes
this could be that situation. Exactly.
But sometimes the perspective of the way we look at it is a little bit misguided. And Roy Jones is the person I come back to. People say he don't have fundamentals. Then why couldn't any of these guys that supposedly have all of these great fundamentals do anything with him? Why couldn't none of them do nothing with him until he was 35? Why? Bernard Hopkins, James Toney, Virgil Hill, Reggie Johnson, all of these good fighters. Why could Thomas Tate? They couldn't do nothing with him. Why? It's a reason for that. And I'm just telling you, and we talk about fundamentals, I'm gonna tell you something. The most fundamental punch in boxing is the jab. Boots' jab is better than Xander's. It's better than Xander's.
He got to prove it though.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see come June 27th. Let me know, man, if you want to make a little side wager.
According to Breadman, Boots possesses remarkable speed, unorthodox angles, and reflexes that seem to neutralize even the most well-crafted strategies. He went as far as to suggest that while Zayas frequently receives recognition for his pristine form and sound basics, Ennis might actually boast the superior and more damaging jab. This element is what makes the bout so compelling. The athletic marvel doesn't depend solely on innate ability. There's a case to be made that he could also have the advantage in several of boxing's most critical technical departments, posing a difficult puzzle for anyone hoping to outmaneuver him tactically.
People talk about Boots' competition level, right? Okay, that's fine. Avanesian. Why did he fight Avanesian? Avanesian wasn't there. Avanesian knocked out Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly just beat Tim
Tszyu.
Bakram for the title.
Oh my bad. Yeah, Bakram. Yeah.
How funny is that? Boots get flack for fighting Avanesian, and Avanesian knocked out Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly beat Bakram, who was considered a monster. Nobody wanted to fight him in a division, and that's the way the media talks about Boots' competition level. Avanesian is just as good as the guy that Xander beat for the belt, but the media turns it a certain way, and the PR teams and stuff, they make it seem a certain way. Nobody makes that comparison though. Nobody makes that comparison. Nobody says, damn, one of the guys that Boots wash just stopped Josh Kelly. Nobody talks about that. And Boots and Crawford have the same issue. They always get, their competition level gets talked about. And I'm not saying they got great resumes, because I'm a fan of Boots and Crawford. In my opinion, neither one of them have what you call a great resume. But I think they got solid resumes, and it's hard for them to get fights because people know what they are, but they beat some really solid guys that you don't.
Teddy Atlas suspects there could be a minor flaw lurking underneath. He observed that Ennis occasionally lingers a beat too long in tight quarters after connecting with his punches. Driven by the urge to land one extra heavy blow, he tends to stay within striking distance, just a hair beyond what's advisable. That slight hesitation might offer precisely the kind of window that a crisp combination thrower like Zayas requires, if he's looking to manufacture a pivotal moment in the bout.
Now he got hit. He does get hit. He does get hit clean sometimes. That could be a problem at the next level. Is it because he knows he could afford to be hit with a stand onus? I know that's a lot of people going to say, Teddy, did you just say that? That's a little irresponsible. Teddy, you said that? That he knew he could afford. What I'm saying is, it's a mental game, not just a physical, technical game. He knows he's the big favorite. He knows that he was the better guy here. And in his mind, maybe he did get a little more reckless or chancy, with certain things than he would with a Crawford, because he knows he can't afford to do that. Maybe that's part of it. We're human. Maybe that's part. That can't be part of it when he goes to that next level. That guy, when he finally gets that guy, whether it's Crawford, whoever it is, whether it's Crawford, whether it's Virtual Ortiz, whatever.
Should Ennis push too hard and leave that gap exposed, Zayas definitely possesses the quickness to nail him with a well-timed reply. A single solid connection at the perfect instant has the power to transform the whole complexion of the match. This is precisely why the bout carries such an air of peril. It resembles a tense standoff where each competitor is probing to see who's prepared to gamble more. One minor miscalculation regarding range or rhythm could abruptly tip the scales and leave the entire boxing community utterly astonished.
Zayas has good punch output, good pop, but he's not a devastating puncher either. You know what I'm saying? So his movement is good, his punch output is good, he's sharp, he got pop, but his strength is exchanges, and you don't want to exchange with Boots because you don't got the same pop Boots has, and you don't want to punch in between shots with Boots. That's going to be a problem for him. You know what I mean? I don't know if he can change his stripes and stay on his bicycle for 12 rounds and kind of stay behind a jab, or try to be like more of a boxer puncher rather than a puncher boxer the way he is right now, because he fights like a puncher, but he doesn't have that one punch KO power, but he right there exchanging with you in the mix, and that's going to be a problem against Boots, I think. So I looked at it like a good fight on paper, like it's a good 50-50 fight. They both big dudes, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, his size might help him, but I think in this fight the size might hurt him because Boots fights usually spars bigger guys, right? And I think Zayas' strength would be his movement and having that extra weight. Like when you see him now that he's not cutting right now, he got swollen head. He looked real big right now. You know what I mean? He looked like 180, 190 somewhere in there. He actually said it. He said, I'm not little either.
Nevertheless, deciding to trade blows with Boots comes with a significant caveat. Breadman shared an intriguing forecast regarding how the championship rounds might play out, proposing that if Zayas finds early traction and forces Ennis into a tough battle, it could potentially unlock an even more formidable iteration of him. Rather than losing confidence, Boots might react by elevating his pressure, competing with heightened desperation, and committing fully to dismantling his foe through sheer force.
We'll see. We'll see come June 27th. Let me know, man. If you want to make a little side wager,
I'm going to tell you right now, Coach, I got this as a 50-50 fight. I'm going to be honest with you. I do. I got it as a 50-50 fight. I want to look more at Xander a little bit more.
Mills, guess what? You have a right to feel that way. You got eyes. You are not as high on Boots as I am. and you looking at it the way you looking at it, and I gotta respect it. I might be wrong. But if you want to make a little wager, you let me know and we can make one. I like Jaron Ennis in this fight, and I believe all that fundamental stuff is overrated in this particular matchup.
Okay. And I want to see it. I want to see what you see. I do.
Okay.
Because I like to see that at the highest level possible.
Do you promise me this? Because I can promise you this. If I'm wrong, I was wrong. If I'm right, you do the same and say, you know what?
100.
You was right about Boots all along.
Yeah.
You was right about him all along.
Devontae Smith voiced a comparable perspective, and his take on the bout was equally forceful. He anticipates that this contest might not conclude with a single breathtaking knockout moment. Rather, he foresees a systematic and deliberate dismantling, where persistent pressure and sustained blows to the midsection gradually erode Zayas as the rounds progress. Under such circumstances, the accumulation of punishment would eventually reach a point where either the official or the cornermen would be compelled to intervene and safeguard the youthful title holder before the damage escalates beyond acceptable limits.
I think it's a high level boxing match at the beginning. Xander start off fast, Boots start off fast. So they just who gonna pull their will first? High IQ. Both got very high IQs. Xander, he a little bigger, but I think Boots got more of the intangibles, stuff like that.
The bet. All right, so what's the outcome?
I think Boots about to stop it. I thought it was going to be a corner stoppage, but I think not get too much up. I think he might hurt him downstairs. That's all I'm going to say about it. I just think it's going to be something.
When all the layers are peeled back, the essence of this eagerly awaited clash circles back to the point Greg Hackett has consistently emphasized. No one doubts Zayas' heart or resilience. He's already proven capable of battling through hardship, reaching deep within himself, and refusing to yield when the stakes are at their peak. He embodies the kind of competitor who will drive himself to the breaking point in the name of victory. Yet bravery by itself might prove insufficient when stepping into the squared circle against a generational phenomenon. A number of analysts believe Zayas will have to produce the finest showing of his professional tenure, tapping into a level we've yet to witness, just to endure the challenge that lies ahead.
So we're going to start off with Xander. If Xander's green, if Xander isn't ready, how did he get to this point?
You saying if he's those things that people say?
Like I see him in the comments. He's green. He isn't ready. He isn't elite. He hasn't faced anybody.
Yeah.
How did he get to this point? Because you don't become unified champion by accident.
Well, you know what people do? They say matchmaking. No, matchmaking matters, but you still got to fight. Xander fought to get his way here. He did what he had to do. He beat who he needed to beat, and I like him. Telez lost to Abbas, he beat Abbas. How can we be mad about that? We didn't know Abbas at all, but that's Telez's fault. Now we know Abbas because of Telez.
As far as Boots goes, you hear he's overhyped. He's king tune-up, bum basher.
Yeah.
As soon as he faces a real boxer, they're going to outbox him, all the defensive flaws.
Yeah.
So the question I got for you is that if he has all of these flaws, why hasn't anybody been able to capitalize him?
Because don't nobody work like him. That's the truth. I ain't seen a fighter yet. That worked like Boots Ennis. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't seen a fighter yet that worked like that. That put that pain in like that. I ain't seen it. I know it's fighters that work hard, but I'm talking about that work like that. Consistency. I ain't seen it. Really putting that pain in. And I'm saying really grinding it out. You know what I mean? I ain't seen it.
The scene is now set, with two undefeated combatants ready to clash beneath boxing's most dazzling spotlight. The central question goes beyond simply who exits the arena with the unified titles in hand. It's whether anyone across the entire 154-pound weight class truly possesses the means to halt the momentum that Jaron "Boots" Ennis has built. At this point, we turn things over to you. Can Xander Zayas rise to meet the most daunting test of his professional life and topple the division's most dreaded competitor? Or are we poised to witness another promising contender fall to a fighter widely regarded as a future all-time great? Drop your fight predictions in the comments. If you enjoyed today's content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so you stay up to date with all our boxing updates. And as always, we want to hear from you. Share your perspective in the section below. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.